So, for example, for folks who want to go to a 2-year community college, it will be free. If you come from a family that makes less than $125,000, you'll go to a public university for free. And across the board, we'll make sure that if you have student loan debt, it's cut by $10,000. That's how Joe Biden thinks about the economy, which is it's about investing in the people of our country as opposed to passing a tax bill, which had the benefit of letting American corporations go offshore to do their business.
So, welcome everyone. Franco here from Frank Analysis, and that was Kamala Harris in the vice president debate, saying that they were going to cut student debt by $10,000 and how we were going to have free public community college. So I've said this before on my show, and that was that if you want to know a politician's true position, look at who funds them. Don't just look at what they say. Don't just look at that. Look at who funds them. Clearly, if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are funded by all these billionaires, all these lobbyists, do you think that they're going to serve you? I know that question is obvious to a lot of my viewers here, but I know you know so many people out there, and there might be people who come across this video who might not know, who it might not be obvious to, but I know a lot of you know a lot of people, like in your family or your friends, who don't think about that and who trust in like the website, like the campaign website that Joe Biden has or that Obama had. And then they think that they're going to serve the people just because of what's written there. Oh, it looks nice and pretty. Look at who funds them, because look at this right now. This is on Forbes magazine, and it says why Joe Biden won't cancel your student loans. Here's what he said. I know Kamala said that he was going to cut $10,000, but he's not even going to do that. Look at this. Joe Biden confirmed today what many already knew. He likely won't cancel student loans. He won't cancel $50,000 of student loans. He also won't cancel $10,000 of student loans either. It's not that Biden doesn't support student loan forgiveness. He does. No, he doesn't. He does not. They just spent so much freaking money in that stimulus package. Like they're willing to use all that money for war. They're not willing to use it to help out the millions of people who are suffering here in this country. Nor are they willing to use it for the millions of students who are in debt and who are nowhere near proportionally as wealthy as their parents were when they were their age. You want to invest in this in our country? Invest in the youth. Invest in educating us. Educate us. But the US doesn't want that. They want us to be blind sheep who continually vote for these corporatist politicians that are going to do whatever their donors say. And that's what Joe Biden does. That's what Donald Trump did. They do what they do what the oligarchy wants them to do. Despite calls from Congress and student loan advocates for Biden to cancel student loan debt, Biden has not committed to cancel student loans through an executive order. Today, he reinforced that commitment and went one step further. It's arguable that the president may have the executive power to forgive up to $50,000 in student debt, Biden said today. Well, I think that's pretty questionable. I'm unsure of that. I'd be unlikely to do that. This is the first time Biden has publicly said that he would be unlikely to cancel student loans through an executive order. Previously, when asked the question, Biden said he wants Congress to cancel student loans through legislation. While Democrats in Congress have supported wide-scale student loan forgiveness, student loan relief was dropped from the latest stimulus package, and student loan cancellation was nowhere to be found. Well, this isn't surprising, but at the same time, it's still disgusting. It's still very disgusting. Incrementalism only works in one direction, and it's not in the direction that's going to benefit working class people. It's not going in the direction that's going to benefit students. It's not going to go in the direction that's going to benefit millions of people in the global south, billions of people in the global south, that the US oppresses through their imperialism. It's just a continuation of more and more oppression, more and more imperialism, more and more suffering. The sooner you learn that, the sooner you'll realize that it's worthless to vote for either Democrats or Republicans. And Joe Biden can cancel student loans without Congress, because with the Higher Education Act of 1965, which the article goes on to discuss about, it provided legal authority for the U.S. Secretary of Education to cancel student loans. So this means that the president, he could cancel student loans. He could do it without Congress. Congress can go on to do it, but we have a Congress that's full of corporatists, and we have quote unquote progressives there that bow down and do whatever the corporatists want them to do. Just like you saw, like the majority of the squad, the fraud squad that voted for that horrendous stimulus package the other day. So where is everybody that said that they were going to push Biden left? Like, why aren't they outraged by this? Why aren't they aggressively pressuring him? Why aren't they aggressively pressuring the squad so that they can pressure Biden, so that they can pressure Pelosi and anybody who's going to be in Biden's cabinet? Where are they? They're sycophants for a Democratic Party. So you might as well watch MSNBC or CNN instead of watching these pop YouTube political commentators like TYT and anybody else who's affiliated with them. Also, check this out. A lot of the arguments that I was getting from people who are going to vote for Biden is that there is going to be harm reduction, that we were going to help the kids in the cages, ignoring the fact that Donald Trump still deported less people than Barack Obama did in their first terms. So look at this. Joe Biden says fast immigration changes could cause 2 million people on our border. This is reported on the New York Post. And Nico House reported on this the other day. He did a great job. And I'm going to echo what he said in that video. And that's that we're going to have 4 years of us telling a lot of people, we told you so. You thought that Joe Biden was the lesser of two evils? He's just a continuation of what Donald Trump was going to be. Probably worse, because Joe Biden is more competent. Again, he was endorsed by the intelligence community had a preference for him. His cabinet is filled with people who are trying to outright Donald Trump's cabinet on positions of U.S. imperialism. So do you see now how voting for quote unquote the lesser of two evils is pointless? It's a continuation. You're voting for the same thing. It's the same thing. The differences are insignificant. So what do we need to do in order to change this? We need to build strong movements. We need to educate the masses. We need to build strong communities that work to inform each other. We need to organize so that we can apply maximum pressure to our politicians so that they can actually change something. And then eventually we can also have a different system. I think the system that we have now is irreformable. So the sooner we can educate the sooner we can educate more people, the faster we can have a different system than the one that we have now. Because the one that we have now has failed. It's inexcusable that people my age and younger and older, a little bit older, are more in debt, can't afford a house, can like have to sacrifice certain needs that they need for their standard of living in comparison to their parents and their grandparents that had it way easier. That's not normal. Like, we're supposed to have it easier than our parents did. So let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment, and stay informed.